I mentioned in the introduction how animals and my pets have always played, for as long as I can remember, a huge role in my experience, and I would go as far as to say that they are some of the most important and special relationships that I've built in this lifetime. So, this is going to be a little hard to talk about because throughout this time frame, this almost 4 years that we're covering, I lost both of my childhood pets. I think I already said this, but this is the first time in like 35 years that my parents have not had any animals, that my parents have not had any pets in their house. So I'm obviously not that old, but anyway. Okay. Let me begin by saying, because again, you'll see how incredibly connected to the story both of these things are, or everything is. And I also I have to, there's no other way to properly convey what was going on at the time without being brutally honest about what was going on at the time. And again, you'll see shortly how this is all connected, like I've said before, like I've continued saying. But I want to introduce this by saying that if a dark colored dog or cat or rabbit or pet makes its way into your life, because that's normally what ends up happening. It's for whatever reason not so common that black or dark blue, charcoal gray, like that those pets are chosen. It's much more common that they make their way into your life. Just know that pet, all animals are special and important, but that pet is particularly special and has been actually brought into your life to protect you. Mostly at nighttime, that's what they're doing. They're absorbing a lot of negative energy, and I so believe that that's the case. That was the case with Prince. I'm not going to go into the whole backstory, but Prince came from a ranch in Wyoming, this little Pomeranian. And what I will say is that we were not supposed to keep Prince. I'll be brutally honest. I wanted a dachshund. So my parents let me get Prince. The plan was to sell Prince and then buy the dog that I wanted. And again, there's a whole beautiful, amazing story behind this that I'm not going to go into right here. But Prince stayed in our lives firmly. Prince was again, Prince is mine. So is Pokey, who I'll talk about later. They're all my pets, but I really can't say that because they're really the family's pets, especially when I went to college. Prince really gravitated towards my mom, and then Pokey really gravitated towards my dad. So in the backdrop of all of this, I remember speaking to my mom, and she said that she had mentioned that she wanted to get the family together. And mind you, this was almost time for Thanksgiving anyway, but she wanted to get the family together because Prince had to be put down. And the way that she put it so drastically and so suddenly, I was just like, whoa, say what? And I don't remember the timing of all of this, but I want to say it was the end of September, early October-ish. My mom had asked me to go over there to give Pokey a bath and to cut Prince's nails. Now, again, I'll tell you more about Pokey later, but Pokey is a calico cat that is 20 years old. Prince is a Pomeranian who's 15 years old. And both of them gave me the fight of my life. Not that you should necessarily be bathing a 20-year-old cat, but I'm not going to get into the reasons of all this. But mind you, I've been doing this for 10 years at this point. I've been head tech for under more than one vet. I've I thought I've seen the worst of the worst with some of these shelter pets and some of these ferals. My own dog and cat gave me the fight for my life again, end of September, early October. So in my head, I'm thinking like, Jesus, they have much more live years in them, right? So Prince made such a sudden decline that I remember I went over there to my parents' house just to get the feel for myself. And so my parents and my family has always trusted me to make the decisions for the pets because, and I am so grateful and appreciative of this because I have the most experience, right? And if you really, really want to get legal about it, at the end of the day, they're my pets, even though they're the family's pets. Anyway, as soon as I entered the house, I could sense that something was wrong. I felt it. In case it has not been very, very obvious throughout this series, I'm a very, very incredibly intuitive person. And folks have told me that I am more clairsentient rather than clairvoyant. I won't even define those terms, but go ahead and look them up. And apparently being clairsentient is rarer than being clairvoyant. I digress. So again, I enter the house, I knew that something was wrong, and I go to the back, and that's when I found Prince, and I realized how quickly he had declined. It was the most heartbreaking thing ever. And so I'm sitting there, like, in my puddle of tears, and I took him to the back so he could go use the bathroom, and I realized, like, my mom said one of the things he had been doing was, of course, having accidents, which is more common with older pets. But he had to be taken down like once an hour, once every 2 hours type thing. And somebody had to be responsible for doing that because since he's blind now, he can't go down the steps of the porch. That's very dangerous. Hello. So, again, the timing of all of this is fuzzy, but I remember I was there for like all of like 20 minutes on Thanksgiving, and I couldn't bear to be around him because I could feel how much pain he was in, and it was horrible. My mom was even worried about me. She's like, "Oh my God, Eric, I don't like seeing you like this." And I think that my family, even to this day, still thinks that they do think that I'm being a little over dramatic, and I'd like to think that over the years I've gotten a much better sense of handle on my emotions. Losing both of your childhood pets in a matter of 6 months will really test you. That's just all I'll say. And with the backdrop of having a toxic, abusive relationship. But anyway, so we made the decision and the appointment to put Prince down the day after Thanksgiving. Mind you, even though I've had a lot of experience with pets and I have walked through this with dozens of vet clients, my own clients, I have never put an animal to sleep before. Never put an animal to sleep before. So this was the first time that happened. And all I will say, I don't know that I can describe everything that took place, but it was a family event. We all did that together, and it was very, very special, and it was exactly how it was meant to be. What I didn't know is that it was preparing me for something that would happen in the next year. But here's the other thing that was going on, is that shortly after Prince passed away, we revived the conversation of Peter and my mom meeting. Now, just for the sake of the story, we are roughly about, 8 months left of the relationship, because he discarded of me June 9th. Okay. So, yeah, just remember that. And if you think what I've described to you so far is crazy, wait until you hear about the week that he finally met my mother. Everything that happened in that week. But before I do any of that, you realize that we tried unsuccessfully, at least I did, to make it happen, and it just wasn't going to happen. So I'll tell that story in the next video.